Even if the Supreme Court doesn't take up Gavin's case this year, the court term is loaded up with decisions that could have major impacts on American law. Here are some of the cases to look out for. If a banker shares a stock tip with a family member and it results in an investment, is that insider trading? Federal courts have been split on the issue. The case before the court, Salmon v. U.S., will determine if a Citigroup banker's brother-in-law can be prosecuted for trading on information he received, even though the banker wasn't rewarded for sharing the info. This case could broaden how prosecutors go after people who give and receive inside tips. Trinity Lutheran Church in Columbia, Missouri, wanted a grant from the state to resurface its school playground with recycled tires. The state denied their request, saying they couldn't give the church a grant because it's a religious institution. Trinity Lutheran says that its playground is secular. If the church wins the case, it could lead to more challenges to bans on funding for religious organizations. In 2007, the ACLU sued Immigrations and Customs Enforcement on behalf of about 1,000 people who were locked up in immigration detention facilities. The ACLU argued the detainees held for longer than 6 months had a right to bail hearings. Jennings v. Rodriguez centers on an immigrant named Alejandro Rodriguez, who became a legal permanent resident but was convicted of drug possession in 2003. Rodriguez spent 3 years locked up without a bail hearing. The case could determine whether it's legal for the U.S. to hold immigrants for so long without bail. Texas carries out the most executions in the country, and the state now has 2 capital cases before the Supreme Court. In one, the court will decide whether racially biased testimony from a defense witness gives the defendant the right to challenge his sentence. The other case, Moore v. Texas, will decide whether a man now found to be developmentally disabled should be executed. Texas says that he should be, arguing that the state is not obligated to follow any particular medical standard when determining a defendant's mental competence. But there's one big hitch in all of this. Until a new Supreme Court justice is confirmed, any of these cases could result in a 4-4 tie, which affirms the last ruling of the lower court and puts the case on ice for the remainder of the term. The Senate still hasn't scheduled a confirmation vote to fill the empty seat.